Greetings, Namaste, and welcome to Astrology Awakening. This is a July planetary transit edition with an emphasis on the first couple of weeks of July, which feature a rare cosmic event. And when I say rare, I mean I've been trying to figure out how to articulate this to somebody who doesn't really study astrology, like a madman like I do. But I'll just reference a lot of the Saturn-Jupiter stuff that I've been featuring in other videos. This is where Saturn and Jupiter come together in the grand conjunction in Capricorn. So that only happens every 60 years, or has the potential to happen every 60 years. It doesn't happen every 60 years. It only started happening every 60 years about 200 years ago. And this, what else is happening? Let's see, I called this a straight flush in a previous drop, and that's what it is. It is this beautifully lit array of planets being in their own homes. So what does that mean? They're the lords of these homes. That is, Saturn is the lord of Aquarius. Jupiter is the lord of Pisces. Mars is the lord of Aries. Venus is the lord of Taurus. Mercury is the lord of Gemini, and these planets will, in succession, all five, be in their own homes. The only planet that will have to share their home, as it were, is Mercury in Gemini with the Sun, and the Sun and Mercury are kind of used to being neighbors, so it's really NBD. But that's what's interesting about Mars, actually. It doesn't share with a planet, it's sharing with a node, and that's Rahu. And that's what makes this transit a little interesting. But let's just say I couldn't possibly calculate in any like back of the napkin terms how rare this potentially happens. I want to sort of talk about it in terms of how to utilize astrology, how to optimize astrology, and imagine if someone were to be born during this period. This child would be very much in their comfortable in their own skin. They would almost have like a divine presence or a celestial connection, because all of these planets are utilizing their natural powers, their natural prowess. That kid would be pretty fire in terms of their connection to the cosmos, in terms of their connection to themselves. And the reason being, the planets, when they're in their own homes, imagine if you're in your own home. You have the full amount of resources. You feel comfortable there. You can walk around and feel like you're in your domain, as opposed to having to play by other people's rules. And this is what happens when these planets get into their lordships. And while he wasn't born during this period, because that wouldn't be possible, I wouldn't be able to talk about him in the present tense, he does celebrate a birthday during this period, one of my best friends, so special shout out to you, HBD Brochelle. Love ya. The sort of optimal energy that that planet can give you is available. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sort of imagine if you're giving birth, or there's a product to be born, and that product is your experience in life. So between July 2nd and July 12th, this is the optimal time to give birth to something new in your life. In fact, to talk about it in terms of the overall happenings of the world, we're going through, and some people think of it as a negative thing, some people think of it as a positive thing. I personally think of it as a agenda-driven concept that people are going to be able to avail themselves and use what the enemy has intended for evil for good. And that is this idea of a reset. Because what happens when these planets all get into their houses, it's like, okay, I can stretch out and relax and take stock of everything. And each planet has the opportunity to do that. So when this period is over, these planets are going to feel renewed and refreshed. That's the reset that we're after. We're after an energetic, spiritual reset that's going to shift the energy. This is sort of ridiculously beautifully set up on July 2nd with the moon also in its own house. So we have the 5 planets plus the moon on July 2nd in their own home. So to kick off this beautiful 10-day transit, The moon, which rules the natural fourth house of Cancer, puts you in the mindset. And that's what the moon does. It's how you feel about your experiences. It's how your emotions connect you to the people around you. The moon, which rules Cancer, Cancer is the natural fourth house. So what does the fourth house represent? It's our karmic happiness. It's our home. It's our homeland. It's our motherland. It's the idea of how we feel comfortable. It is real estate, assets that you move, boats, cars, planes. So these things in particular are going to be affected because this 1, 2, 3, 4, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, these first 4 of the zodiac are all lined up perfectly, being supported by the higher octave planets of Saturn and Jupiter in the natural 11th and 12th houses. I don't know if you could imagine a more, even Rahu being in with Mars in Aries, it stimulates the individual for that reset kind of change, for that restart. That reboot. And Mars is actually giving its 4th aspect to the moon in Cancer. So it's going to energize our minds towards that agency and self-authority that everybody needs to accomplish what they need to in this realm. And so this is a great time to root yourself in this energy of renewal and restart. It's a good time to just filter your vibes into some portal that you want to find yourself in on the other side of this 10-day transit. Otherwise, it's a great time to take a vacation. So if you watched a couple of videos back, you did that. But no, seriously, it's any time that you have such a magical transit, things are just going to happen naturally. But if you're going to really find ways to hack this realm, you use the physics, you use the quantum concepts of Vedic astrology to do that. And so this is where you can actually see the results pay off dividends down the road, especially. It's not like these 10 days are going to suddenly transform everybody overnight, depending on your chart, depending on your Mahadasha, depending on everything else that's happening in the people around you's charts. This could take some time to evolve, but we are definitely evolving, because that's why, I mean, to really get into the granular, the reason why this is even more powerful is Saturn is in its multi-tricone house. So as opposed to Capricorn, which it could be a great transit otherwise, sure. But this is even better because Aquarius is the community. It's the collective consciousness. So this is where Saturn is most powerful. And so you get this beautiful straight flush array guided by Saturn's hand, which wants to benefit, even if it's by delay and restriction. It wants to see the soul of mankind elevate to the next level. So I hope this drop helps everyone optimize and elevate their own experience to the next level in the next few weeks and the next few months. So namaste, blessings, and happy 4th of July.